Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tanner Tahunchuk, and I want to thank you all for joining me, the government side, and other members of the opposition. Today, as your MOC, I say that this House should not make college free. Today, I will be attempting to argue and debate that the establishment of free college would be a detrimental mistake to our country. The way that I will do this is by restating and reminding everyone what the government side has to say about free college, and then I will restate the plan explained in the LOC. As stated by the government side of the argument, their counterplan to the LOC will feature students only being able to take a particular course once. And the second attempt at the course would mean the student being obligated to pay for the cost of the course. They feel that instating this plan would alleviate students from the stresses of not being able to pay their tuition for their college education. That instating this plan would put pressure on students in order to pass their courses the first time so they do not have to pay to take it again. This statement made by the government is directed towards the statement made in the LOC on if the student does not pass the course, who's to say they couldn't just take it over and over again, when usually if a student does not pass, they are charged to take the course again. Stating it then would advocate for students' tuition to be taxed for when they are taking the course multiple times. This would add up over time. While the government does counter my statement, the idea of free college is still absurd and still poses threats to our great nation's citizens. It threatens higher tax rates and the possibility of millions of Americans paying the tuition of millions of college students who are getting full rides, even if they did bad in high school and their GPA isn't the greatest. It would eliminate the prestige of rare full ride scholarships to prestigious schools that some could only dream of attending. Instead, this advocates for everyone to enjoy a free ride scholarship to college. To me, this plan and idea of free college does not make a whole lot of sense, other than the fact that not everyone is meant to go to college and not everyone can afford to go to college. That does not mean the government should open colleges, making them free to everyone. Colleges are already impacted as it is. The job place is already enough of a competition as it is, and allowing this free college idea to become a reality would mean more stress on middle and working class Americans. Now, according to UniversityStar.com, the simple fact is the more people that get degrees lead to the less unique they become, leading people to compete with a significantly larger pool of individuals for the same positions. Now, this further proves that the counterplan proposed by the government, even though presents a better idea than expected, is still counterproductive, especially when considering graduates who have been paying off their student loans for years. Does this plan present the idea that all graduates who did have to pay for student loans and are still paying for student loans get refunds? This plan has bitten off way more than it can chew. This will mess with everything that college has been built up to be. What about the 4.0 students in high school who have earned every 4.0 they have achieved? Now, this also includes doing well on the SATs in order to make it into a prestigious college. According to an article by Civitas Institute, if college becomes free for students, colleges will attract more young people who are not suited for college, and more students will major in fields with little or no market value. The reason this matters is because of all the Americans who struggle enough paying their bills, raising children, working multiple jobs to survive, and just barely making it with their own problems, not having to do with college. They will be burdened with higher taxation than before. The government wants to say this will alleviate struggling young adults wanting to go to college, but the fact of the matter is that these very students will one day struggle with the rest of the Americans who have higher tax rates and cannot find jobs in an impacted work environment where everyone now has a degree, making the workplace a competition. The right plan is to keep things the way they currently are at colleges around America. While students still to this day suffer due to the mountain-sized costs of college tuition, it was their decision to get a college education, not the millions of working Americans who will be hit with a skyrocketing number rise in taxes. Why should a random struggling family in the United States of America have to be burdened with the tuition of another random person who wants to get their college education? It is very important that we keep the government from making rational decisions like this one. Thank you very much.